Donald, you're a sniveling coward, and leave Heidi the hell alone.
He is laughing at his supporters. He's mocking his supporters because he's lying to them.
Do we get behind a campaign that is based on yelling and screaming and cursing and insults?
Do you want to turn on the television and see a president, Republican or Democrat, who embarrasses you?
This man is a pathological liar, a caricature of a braggadocious, arrogant buffoon. Morality does not exist for him. A narcissist at a level I don't think this country's ever seen.
I am honored that President Trump is here endorsing and supporting my campaign, and I look forward to campaigning alongside him in 2020 for his re-election as President of the United States.
Okay. You see it, right? You see what I see, right? It's a radicalization of the Republican Party is what it is. Ted Cruz has become a cult member. Ted Cruz used to have some sort of a ferret's spine, not, exactly ramrod strong or anything like that. But, he would defend his own wife at one point. Now he's willing to let you all die. Now he's willing to accept that Donald Trump did mock you. Donald Trump did let you die. Donald Trump did, stick a dagger in the heart of democracy itself by telling lies about the fact that he actually lost and lost big. But Ted Cruz is down with it because he's become a radicalized cult member. He's become a man who believes that only Donald Trump can galvanize the 40% of Americans who refuse to get vaccinated. Only Donald Trump can manage and control the 40% of Americans who are violent, who are filled with hate and racism and misogyny too. They hate women on top of it. See, Rush Limbaugh fed them a steady diet of that, right? If you were a woman and you wanted birth control to be covered under your health care plan, like Sandra Fluke did, you were a prostitute. And Rush Limbaugh should be entitled to see tapes of you having actual sex because he was going to pay for your birth control in his warped mind from a private healthcare company that you paid premiums to. I mean, it was so twisted and so illogical, and yet people repeated it and repeated it and repeated it. People believed it. People thought that Sandra Fluke was going to get government payments for over aisle 28. Seriously. He convinced people of lies for 20 some odd years. He convinced people that the government was out to fleece them and rip them off and steal from them, even though healthcare plans pay for Viagra, which I'm sure he used when he married Catherine at his advanced age. I don't think the man has ever seen it, okay? I just don't. He was big, he was fat, he was overweight, and he smoked cigars, and he died of lung cancer. Do you know what I'm saying? And early screening, early testing, but oh no, they're against that. They're against that. This is such a scam. It's such a ruse, and it could only have ever ended this way, which is what I was trying to tell people for the whole time that they were being bamboozled and lied to, that they were literally lying to you, and that the only way this could ever resolve itself was going to be in an eruption of violence and hatred, in an eruption of racism and cheating. That's the only way this could have ever ended. But they didn't care because they were on the gravy train. Rush Limbaugh did die a very wealthy man. Sean Hannity will die a very wealthy man. You understand that, right? Alex Jones, who's pleading poverty every 5 minutes, is going to die a very wealthy man. Oh, Alex Jones's wife was just arrested on Christmas Day for domestic violence? What the hell kind of people are these? And he blamed her medication. He did. He said there was some sort of a imbalance in her pharmacotropic drugs or whatever, her psychotropic drugs. You want to see an imbalance? Don't refill my Lunesta. I'll show you an imbalance. Oh my God, this is so sick. But it could only ever have ended this way. This is my beef with the Adam Kinzingers and the Liz Cheneys. Even though they've come over to the right side, the violence has scared them. The violence has woken them up. The violence has made them see the light finally. but they have got to say out loud what we have been saying out loud for 20 some odd years. And that is that this was the only way lying like this could end. It was the only way that it would end. Mario in New York.
Hello?
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Mario. Turn the radio down or whatever you're watching.
Well, actually, I'm watching a TV set.
Turn it down.
And,
Mute
may
it.
I mentioned this to you. Whenever I'm trying to watch this program while you have me on hold, I'm listening to something that's different than the program, and it's very hard to concentrate on both.
Well, turn your sound down because what you're listening to is live and what you're watching is delayed because it's being aired over the airwaves, and so there's a delay.
No, it's not the delay that I'm listening to. You were playing something entirely different than the show.
Mario, turn your
Yes.
television down or I'm going to have to let you go, my friend.
Hey, right, I'm turning the television down right now.
Thank you. Now, how may I help you?
I'm sorry?
How may I help you?
Well, I wanted to mention that everything that Randi is saying to try to sway the Republicans' view is going on deaf ears. They're never going to come together. And the reason being is because the Republicans hate Democrats as much as the Democrats hate Republicans.
Well, we don't
You know,
hate
they have
anybody.
entirely-
I don't hate anybody except for perhaps Donald Trump because he is despicable and disgusting and self-serving,
But that's the
narcissistic, and he's an
that's the
abuser
Republicans'
of
voice.
people.
They're
Yeah.
the strongest voice for the Republicans, and that's why they're following him.
Well,
no
I
matter
agree.
what.
I agree that he is a galvanizing cult of one. There's no question that that's true. And that there are media outlets that literally broadcast to an audience of one, that would be him. And it's just a very sad state of affairs because it's screwing up our ability to self-govern. And in the end, that's what America is about, self-governance. Now, as I said, the number of people who identify as Republicans is dwindling. It's getting smaller and smaller. So your thesis that I cannot change minds, or that reality doesn't change minds, or that, telling people the truth, the fact-checkable, reliable truth doesn't change minds is false. So I would characterize you as ye of little faith.
Well, all I know is that most Republicans, I know because my sister happens to be Republican. Why, I don't know. But she is probably because she likes the idea that Republican stands for lower taxes. The Republicans are anti-liberal, anti-abortion, anti-immigrant, super pro-religious. You know, they have a whole different
Donald
culture.
Trump is just what Jesus would be, right? Donald Trump is, yes, very pro-religion. He's very pro-Jesus. He's very pro every major tenet of the Bible, right? He lives it. He models it. He lives his life by, not lying to his neighbor or caring for somebody as you would care for yourself. Or, please, this is a fantasy.
See, but my point is that no matter what you say, you're never going to sway their
And
views
I'm telling
because-
you that you are ye of little faith, is what I'm saying to you, that you just don't believe that it's possible to go back to a place in America where everybody agrees the facts are the facts, and then we can disagree on how wealth should be distributed, or how high people should be taxed, or whether or not we should have public schools in the first place, or do we want them all to be private? Okay, but we can't get there from here. And as I keep saying over and over, the number of people who are identifying as Republicans anymore is getting smaller and smaller. And of that smaller percentage, only about 30 to 40% of them support Donald Trump for another term. So it is working telling people the truth. It is working when people see the lies, when people hear Ted Cruz screaming about what a madman Donald Trump is and then kissing his ass. It does work.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying, but when they listen to only Fox News and Newsmax, and they have the social media, they're not really listening to anything that the Democrats have to say.
They don't have to listen to what the Democrats have to say. They have to listen to what their media is saying. And even their media is saying, look, Senator Mike Rounds, a Republican, dyed-in-the-wool Republican from South Dakota, over the weekend got on TV and said the election was not stolen. The election was lost. We lost the election. Kilmeade on Fox and Friends was telling the audience this morning that they lost and they have to accept it, that it's been a lie. Don't have time to listen to the live show? Want to hear more on your schedule? Go to RandiRhodes.com and buy a stinking podcast.